Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for the love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of these episodes, we're quickly going to recap on the previous. In the previous three games were West Ham in the Premier League at home, which we simulated, Bayer Leverkusen in the quarterfinals of the Champions League first leg, and then Stoke City in the Premier League away from home. Of course, the West Ham game was the game that we simulated. And although we're at home and we are in the better favour to win that game when we simulate games at home than when you're away, obviously the stat-wise and percent-wise, you supposedly win more home games if you simulate them than if you simulate away games. We simulated it, and I still worry when we simulate these games, there's still a chance we can lose. But thankfully, the EA gods were on our side, and we went on to beat West Ham 3-1. So very happy with that result. A little bit unfortunate we didn't keep a clean sheet, but to beat the Hammers 3-1 at home, very happy indeed, especially with the home fans being behind us. Then we come up against Bayer Leverkusen away from home in the quarterfinals. It was the first leg. We're playing the second leg in the first game of today's episode, and we managed to go on and beat them 2-0. Now, obviously, at the end of the previous episode, I was saying I don't know if to simulate the second leg against Bayer Leverkusen because we're at home, and I feel like we can keep a clean sheet. And being 2 goals up away from home basically means that we've scored 3. So unless Bayer Leverkusen come to Anfield and score 2, well, we're in a great position to win the game. But I think what we're going to do is I just look over this final game, which of course was against Stoke City. We were away from home, we played it, and we also managed to beat them 3-1. So very similar to the West Ham game, although that was a simulated game. We played the Stoke City game. We couldn't keep a clean sheet, but we did manage to go on and get the win after beating them 3-1. And what I was saying is, in today's episode, it's very, very difficult. Obviously, we've got the second leg in the quarterfinals against Bayer Leverkusen. We're currently 2-0, technically 3-0 up because we've got 2 away goals. We've then got Manchester United at home, so they're coming to Anfield to face off against us in the Premier League. The reason I'm considering playing the United game is because obviously you guys know in the previous episode, episode 89, we were crowned Premier League champions. We've won the Premier League. There's no way another team can catch us. The only downfall is we were crowned champions after we won that game against West Ham. Now, that was a simulated game. We then played Stoke away from home, so we never got the trophy. So what I'm thinking is, the next time we play a home game, which our next home game is against Manchester United, will we then get the chance to lift the trophy at Anfield in front of the home fans? And that's why I'm really swaying towards playing Manchester United at home. Then the following week, we're playing Manchester United again, but this time around in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And this is why it's a very, very difficult decision. But what I am going to say, guys, is obviously we're either going to be playing the Bayer Leverkusen second leg and then Manchester United in the FA Cup and simulating Manchester United in the Premier League, or we're going to simulate Bayer Leverkusen in the second leg, play the United game at home and hopefully lift that Premier League trophy, and then go on to beat them again in the semi-finals to bag us a place in the final of the FA Cup. But because I still, to this moment, have not made my decision up, because obviously one of the most important things this year for me, or this season 3, is we've got a fan objective called Retirement 7. And that was to win all 7 pieces of silverware before retiring at the end of the season. Now, obviously, you guys know it's episode 90, which means we're about to go over the fan objectives. So as I click my fingers, the fan objectives should appear on screen now. And you should be seeing the fan objectives crystal clear on screen. So we're going to go through these one by one. And what we're going to do is we're going to weigh up whether we think we're going to be able to complete the fan objectives. Because you guys know we're already on episode 90. We've only got 3, maybe at the maximum, depending on how many more, if we get knocked out by Manchester United in the FA Cup, there'll only be 3 episodes. But if we were to get through, there'll be 4 episodes. So there's around 3 or 4 episodes to go. We need to look how close we are to completing all these fan objectives, because I said that charity donation, regardless what happens with our fan objective, it's going to be a green tick and we're going to be donating money to charity. As for the other 5, I said we had to complete all 5 other fan objectives for you guys to win Season 3 fan objective prizes. If we're not so close to winning them, then it doesn't really matter if we were to unfortunately simulate the game against Bayer Leverkusen and get knocked out of the Champions League, because realistically, I'm trying to win the Champions League not only for my career at Liverpool, but also for the fan objectives for you guys at home. So let's start going through these, and I'll have a little think whether I'm going to play the Bayer Leverkusen game or whether I want to play the Manchester United game at home. But first, we've got charity donation. Donate the amount of goals scored by Timo Werner in all competitions. So if we quickly go over to the squad and go to the squad hub, we can easily find out how Timo Werner is looking. So we're going to go all the way to the bottom to look for the striker. all the way to the bottom, and here we go. We have Timo Werner. So currently, if we go to the column that says G, which is for goals, we come down to the bottom. We've currently scored 20 goals with Timo Werner in all competitions. They have come from 2 in the Champions League, 10 in the Premier League, 1 in the Carabao Cup, and 7 in the FA Cup. So in the Premier League and the FA Cup, he is a scoring wizard right now, scoring plenty of goals. And so far, coming to the end of the season, he's scored 20. I'm sure we can maybe look at getting that to 25 before we end season 3. But very well done to Timo Werner. He only joined us in season 3. He's already gone up 1 overall rating, and he's bagged 20 goals in his first season. Absolutely unbelievable. Moving down to the bottom left, we have Golden Boot. Scored 22 goals plus with Mane or Salah to match their Golden Boot record in 18/19. Obviously, you guys know in the season of 18/19, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah and Aubameyang all got the Golden Boot. They all received one after scoring 22 goals in the Premier League. That's why the Golden Boot, we were trying to break that record and hopefully get them the Golden Boot also in the Premier League this year. So if we go down to Sadio Mane first, so this is only in the Premier League. Premier League goals for Sadio Mane is 11, so he's halfway there with maybe, I think, 7 Premier League games to go. So can he score 11 goals in 7? It'd be very difficult. And unfortunately, I think Mo Salah's been absolutely tremendous in the first half of the season. The second half, not so much. And I think even he's going to struggle to now do it as we move up to Mo Salah. Mo Salah has 15 goals in the Premier League. Bear in mind, he did score against Stoke in the 89th minute. Maybe this can force him to start scoring some more goals. So if we've got 7 games to go, he needs to get another 7 games, which means he'd have to score in every single game, or he needs to bag a hat-trick in one of the games, and then he can afford not to score in every single game. But he's also chasing down Harry Kane, who is currently top, I do believe, with 20 goals in the Premier League, which is unbelievable. He's 5 behind. Can Mo Salah catch up? We'll have to wait and see over these next few episodes. Moving over to the bottom in the middle, we've got record breaker with Naby Keita break Gerrard's record of 08-09 season of 24 goals within that season. So Gerrard scored in his 08-09 season 24 goals, not including pre-season. So if we now go ahead and move up to Naby Keita, so we've got to exclude the 8 Asian Elite Cup goals he scored in pre-season. He's currently on 21, so that means he has 13 goals over the Premier League, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. So they are competitions that he's allowed to score in and potentially try and break the record, but he's not allowed the 8. Now, if he was technically allowed the 8 from pre-season, he'd only be 3 goals away. We have to discontinue the Asian Elite Cup goals. So he's got 13, he needs 11. It's a tough one, and I thought at times, especially in the Premier League, he's been absolutely tremendous. I mean, 21 goals, 11 assists over every single competition is unbelievable for Naby Keita. He's really upped his game this year. Unfortunately, in my opinion, is he going to get to 24 goals? He needs another 11 goals over the next 3 or 4 episodes. It's going to be tough for him, but we can keep our fingers crossed for him. Moving down to the bottom right, we have the mailman. This is the one that I think has screwed everyone this year, and I can only apologise, guys. Obviously, I did say that we have to complete all 5 fan objectives for you guys to win the prizes. I think the mailman is the one that is going to screw us most, and that is get 13 plus assists with Trent Alexander-Arnold or Andy Robertson. If we move up the list, and I think it's going to be Andy Robertson first. So in all competitions, Andy Robertson has a whopping 3 assists. Only 2 of them being in the Premier League. Now for the mailman, I decided to let it be over all competitions, but even so, he only has 3. He's matched how many goals he's got. He's got 3 goals in the Premier League and 3 assists, 2 of them in the Prem, 1 in the Carabao Cup. So he's a long way off. He's 10 away, and we've only got 3 episodes to go. Maybe 9, 10, maybe even a push of 11 games to go. That means he'd have to get an assist in every single game. And unfortunately, guys, I just don't see it happen. If we move up the list, is my man Trent Alexander-Arnold looking any better? He's sadly not. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist, both of them coming in the Premier League. So if we have any hope in completing that fan objective, it's going to come from Andy Robertson. And if I'm honest, I really don't think it's going to happen, guys. So I do believe we're probably going to fail the mailman fan objective this year. Moving up to the top right, we have the Genie's Wish, and that's get a combined 20 plus goals and assists with Genie Wijnaldum, which means he can get 15 goals and 6 assists. As long as he gets over the number 20 when we add his goals and assists together, then we complete that fan objective. So let's go ahead and move down and look for my man Gini Wijnaldum. So he has, at the bottom of the column G, 7 goals. Move over to the right, 8 assists. So I'll tell you what, he's on 15 right now. He needs 5 more, technically 6 more because we went for 20 plus. So we need to get him either, 6 goals, 6 assists, or we can mix and match 3 goals, 3 assists. But so far, I have to say, 15 for a combined number of goals and assists for Gini Wijnaldum is not bad at all. With 5 to go, I think Gini Wijnaldum could do just that. So I'm hopeful that he's still going to complete his fan objective. And finally, the big important one, as we move over to the top in the centre, in the blue, retirement 7. And that is win all 7 pieces of silverware before retiring at the end of the season. And this has been the biggest fan objective we've ever had, because we have to have won the Asian Elite Cup, which we did, the FA Community Shield, which we did, the UEFA Super Cup, which we did, the Carabao Cup, which we did, the FA Cup, which we're in the semi-finals for, the Premier League, which we've did, and the UEFA Champions League, which we are currently about to play the second leg in the quarter-finals. So realistically, we're on track for the FA Cup, and we're certainly on track for the Champions League. I would love it if we could retire at the end of Season 3 and have won every single piece of silverware, every single trophy, every single competition that we possibly could have. That would be absolutely unreal if we could complete that. But after looking over those fan objectives, you guys, I'm sure you're feeling the same. I'm sure you're thinking Golden Boot is going to be a difficult one to complete. The Mailman is a 1% chance that we're going to complete that. I mean, the chance of Andy Robertson picking up 10 assists in his next potentially 10, 11 games, it's looking like a little bit of a long shot. But as for retirement 7, the Genie's Wish, record breaker, I would say that they are still within reaching distance, and hopeful that we can complete at least half of the fan objectives. If we can complete 3 out of the 6, I'll be happy, and especially if we get that retirement 7, because that will pretty much just sum up the seasons that we have had at Liverpool, the career we've had at Liverpool, the fact we've just gone on and won so many pieces of silverware, and then in the final season we win all 7 pieces of silverware that are up for grabs. And with me now saying that, as we move over and get ready for the game against Bayer Leverkusen, I'm looking at the situation of, yes, I want to win the Champions League, of course I do. We're 2-0 up. I really want to lift the Premier League trophy in Season 3, which we haven't seen Virgil van Dijk do. Virgil van Dijk, if we jump over to the team that I am putting out against Bayer Leverkusen, he is going to be playing and captaining the team. I just don't know. Do you know what? Let's just bite the bullet, Brad. You're a manager. You've got to bite the bullet sometimes. We're going to simulate the game against Bayer Leverkusen. If we play Manchester United and don't even lift the trophy, I'll be absolutely gutted. But this is the lineup we are putting out. We're going with Ryan Sessegnon out on the left wing, Timo Werner at striker, Junior out on the right wing, Anderson Talisca linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Tierney, Van Dijk, Jimenez and Semedo at the back, with Alisson between the 6. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm actually going to replace Virgil van Dijk with Jonathan Tah. I'm then going to take Gomez off the bench, and I'm just going to let's just stick Ramsey in there. Bobby's going to come on. I want to make sure none of these players get put on the pitch for the simple reason, let's make sure they're all nice and fit. That's what we want. Because when we come up against Manchester United up next, if there is a chance to beat them and then lift the Premier League trophy, I want to be putting out my favourite and my strongest starting 11. But let's go ahead. We've looked over the fan objectives. We've discussed the previous games. Now it's all about this game against Bayer Leverkusen. We need the win, and I am hoping that they are not going to score 2 goals when they've travelled to England to face off against us at Anfield. Let's get these players warmed up. Come on, lads. If we score 1 or 2 in the first half, I'll be very happy. We've kicked off, and we are fast approaching 10 minutes. 10 minutes has passed, coming up to 20 minutes now. 20 minutes has passed. Nothing happened just yet. Timo Werner picks up a yellow card in the 23rd minute. Fast approaching half-time now, and neither team are yet to score. We're into the second half. I mean, it's looking great so far. Rudiger picks up a yellow card in the 50th minute. If we keep it at 0-0, that'd be absolutely great. But I'd love us to just get that first goal to put us 3-0 up. Come on, 70, 80 minutes in. Junior scores in the 82nd. It's game over. There's no way Bayer Leverkusen are coming back. And thanks to that man there, Vinicius Junior, who scores in the 82nd minute, we go on to beat Bayer Leverkusen 3-0, and we bag ourselves a place in the semi-finals. Juventus also went on to beat Bayern. I personally thought Bayern were going to beat Juventus, but Dybala and Storaro managed to score for Juventus. And if they didn't score, or depending on what the score was in the first leg against Bayern, Juventus may have just found themselves a place also in the semi-finals of the Champions League. It could be our opponents up next, but thank you, Junior, for scoring. We keep a clean sheet and managed to rotate the team, and it was the right move at the end of the day. As a manager, I couldn't be more proud. We've bagged ourselves another place in the next stages of the Champions League. We've done it by simulating the second leg. I'm very, very happy because now we can focus on the game up next against Manchester United and hopefully lift that trophy. Right, guys, and here we are at match day, about to face off against Manchester United. We're against the Red Devils and we're at home in front of the home fans at the beautiful stadium that, of course, is Anfield. This is the lineup we are putting out. We've got Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Timo Werner at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gino Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson at Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back, with Alisson between the sticks. Now, realistically, we're hopeful that Salah and Mane will continue to score. We need Mo Salah scoring, but it's not going to be an easy game. We're up next against Manchester United. We've just bagged ourselves a place in the semi-finals of the Champions League. We took a risk. I took a risk. We simulated the game. We beat them 1-0. We went through 3-0 over the two legs. Can we continue our winning ways and beat Manchester United? Because if we beat them in the Premier League, we've then got them a week later, but in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And I've just noticed there, guys, if you look to the right there, result of the draw, Juventus will take on Man United. Ourselves will take on Atletico Madrid. So it could once again, last year in Season 2, it was a Liverpool, Manchester United, and all-English Champions League final. That could happen again this year, but I'm thinking it's going to be a Juventus-Liverpool final. But let's go ahead and get into this game against Manchester United. I hope now, regardless, I'd have been a little bit gutted if we'd have lost the game to Bayer Leverkusen and been knocked out, and then we played this game, won it, and we didn't get to lift the trophy, because the whole reason we play in this game is to hopefully let Van Dijk lift the Premier League trophy. If he doesn't get to do that and we would have lost that game, I'd have been gutted. But you know what? If he doesn't get to do it this time round and it's already gone and we don't get to see the actual visual of us lifting the Champions League, the actual visual of us lifting the Premier League title, then you know what? At least we still won the Champions League game. But let's go ahead and get into this game against Manchester United. We're at Anfield. We need the fans bouncing and roaring to get behind our players. Come on, Redmen. We're against United. Let's do a job against them. The clash of titans. This is like a Liverpool derby. I mean, some people say Liverpool versus United is bigger than Liverpool versus Everton. It is game. Plenty of dangerous, dirty tackles thrown in there. Plenty of elbows. Most importantly, hopefully plenty of goals. That's what we're looking for. And if that man there, Naby Keita, could get on the scoreline as well as Mo Salah, well, that would do us just nicely. But as we get this game kicked off with Timo Werner, let's get it underway. And let's see what damage we can do. Gomez. Up to Mo Salah now. Inside to Timo Werner. Going back to Mo Salah. Come on, Mo Salah. This is your chance. Mo Salah. I'm going to have Mane towards the middle. It's played into Mane. De Gea saves. And Naby Keita is there to follow up. Well, I could have been greedy with Mo Salah and looked for that goal. I didn't. I played it over to Sadio Mane. He should be doing a lot better there, Sadio Mane, from that close. But David De Gea pushes it out, but only into the path of Naby Keita, who slots home. I did say at the start of this game, we need him to score. He's trying to break the record of Gerrard. He's got 11 to go. He's only now got 10 to go. He's doing very well indeed. And we're 1-0 up after just 10 minutes. Win the header. No, Lukaku wins that one and plays it into the path of Martial. Nicely done there, Trent. Nicely done indeed. Let's go play it round now. Let's go, Mo Salah. Come on, son. Mo Salah darting in. Still Mo Salah on his left foot. Referee, Timo Werner. Oh, it's wide. I could be on this one. Let's go through now to Timo Werner. Pogba, watch that one. Nicely read there from the Frenchman, Paul Pogba. Playing forwards. Ball in into the middle. Fullman's here. Let's get rid of that Robertson. Let's go Werner. And as we look to close down that ball, the referee is going to play for half-time at Anfield. We're going in with a 1-0 lead. I have to say, we've definitely been the better team so far. To that man there, David De Gea for Manchester United, who is literally keeping them in this. It could have been 2, it could have been 3, possibly even 4. Right now it's only 1, and Manchester United are going to come out thinking they've still got a chance. But I honestly think if we keep playing the way we are, it's only going to be a matter of time before we find a second as Lukaku kicks us off in this second half period. Play us back now. Mane. Genie. Through now to Mane. Nice out thinking now for Mo Salah at the back. Post it into the back from Gaia. Jose Gaia This Spanish left back has headed that into the back of the net. I said it was only a matter of time before we got a second. I certainly didn't think it was going to come from a Manchester United defender. I mean, what more can he do? I mean, that is a striker's goal. If that's the other end of the pitch, that's an unbelievable goal. I suppose he had to get his head to it because Mo Salah was ready to pounce. But what a stunning goal from the left back. That is a striker's goal, and we are 2-0 up after 51 minutes. Going back to Coutinho, who's going to knock it onto his right foot. Coutinho looks to bend one straight into the hands of David De Gea. David De Gea has stopped so many shots in this game. We're into the dying embers, and there we go. The dying embers are already here. We've beaten Manchester United 2-0, and are we going to now lift the trophy? Gomez falls to the floor. Robertson falls to the floor. It sounds like we are going to get the presentation, so my decision to simulate the first game in the Champions League has paid off. We are going to get to lift the trophy, and it is going to be Virgil van Dijk to put his hands on it first and launch it into the air with celebration. Champione, champione, away, away, away. Unbelievable. Mbappe winning the Premier League. Timo Werner winning the Premier League. Coutinho winning the Premier League. Players we brought to Liverpool in Season 3. And they're winning it all. They are winning it all. Mo Salah, Trent, Van Dijk, Alisson, they're so used to this. But it's a new one for the lads. Ooh, hey! Premier League champions. I was hopeful that the next home game that actually played and didn't simulate, we would get the presentation and get our hands on the Premier League trophy. We've done just that. Liverpool, Premier League champions for a third consistent season. We have built the ultimate squad to take on any team, anytime, in any goddamn competition. We are the best team ever. The best team ever. We are Liverpool. Da, 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 da. Unbelievable. Ooh, hey! Absolutely unreal. The fireworks are going off. The players will be deep into celebrations within hours of lifting the trophy. The drinks will be flowing. What an absolutely unbelievable Season 3 we are having. Another piece of silverware ticked off. We've done the Asian Elite Cup. We've done the FA Community Shield. We've done the Super Cup. We've done the Carabao Cup. We're potentially going to be in the final of the FA Cup if we beat Man United in a week's time. We've won the Premier League. And we're on for the Champions League after we just bagged ourselves our place in the semi-finals against Atletico Madrid. Right, guys, and here we are at the semi-finals of the Emirates FA Cup where we're facing off against Manchester United. We've just beat them in the Premier League, and I just beat them with that lineup. So I'm putting out exactly the same lineup because why change something that's not broke? That's my mistake. My editing software wasn't broke. I changed it and got the updated version, and it slapped me in the face and caused me to not be able to edit for a full week. So I have learned my ways. If something works, just stick with it, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this Liverpool squad. We've got Mane out on the left wing, Timo Werner at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gino Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield role. A little deeper we've got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back with Alisson between the sticks. Well, let's go ahead and get into this game against United. It's going to bag us a place potentially in the final of the FA Cup, which means we'll be in the final of the FA Cup and the semi-finals of the Champions League. If we beat Atletico Madrid, we're in the final of the Champions League where we will be facing off potentially against United again, or maybe even Juventus. But let's go ahead and get this game raring to go. We're at Wembley Stadium. It's the semi-finals. We've beat them once in today's episode. Can we make it a second? Come on, lads. We just cruised that game then. We didn't even get into fifth gear. We were cruising in second or third gear. Oscar, Pogba, Lukaku, Martial, Bay, they just couldn't handle us. The only man that was giving us a little bit of trouble was David De Gea between the sticks. Apart from that, the team was shocking. Jan Vertonghen didn't even see his name in the previous game, although he did play. Alexis Sanchez played, Martial, Lukaku. just didn't play well whatsoever. We didn't even have to up the gears and felt like we were under pressure where we had to go out and score. We were scoring because we were in the position to. So let's go ahead with Lukaku getting us kicked off in the first half. Let's get it underway and let's hope we can have a same and similar sort of game. Win that, that'd be nice. He don't play it straight through now. There we go. Timo Werner going to ping one over now to Sadio Mane, who looks at getting in behind. Oh, we were unlucky there. Calabria was there and the referee is going to blow for half-time at Wembley Stadium. We're going in at 0-0. I'd say, again, shot-wise, we've definitely been, I mean, you can see there from the match facts, we've definitely been the better team when it comes to shots. Possession I wasn't too sure about, but again, we've had a lot more possession than them, 57% for us, 43% for them. We're certainly being the dominant team right now. The only thing we're lacking, I think, is Mane, Timo Werner and Salah up top are just not looking too sharp, but when I look at their stamina and their fitness, it doesn't look like they've put in a decent effort in that first 45 minutes. So hopefully with Timo Werner kicking us off in the second half, they can start putting in a shift and hopefully find us a goal. Come on, Timo Werner, I need you doing something here, son. I was going to start Bobby, I decided to start you. Let's do something here. Here's Timo Werner with his quick feet. Timo Werner finds a run there of Sadio Mane, who wants to get in behind. Here's Mane cutting back onto the right foot. Like so thinking now for Timo Werner on the volley! There we go! It's the first goal and it's come from Timo Werner. Well, we knew at the start of today's episode we were donating £20 to charity. We've just added another £1 to that charity donation. I said that Timo Werner could potentially get tied by the end of the season. And with a beautiful left-footed volley that he puts past David De Gea, he's only 4 more away from doing just that. Gets ahead of Pogba on the volley. David De Gea had no chance. Ball kicked out from David De Gea. Oh, Oscar gets there. There's Pogba. Out wide now to Thorvan. Alexis Sanchez has now been put out wide, and Alexis Sanchez is going to get in behind. That's going to be a problem. Ball into the middle. Lukaku's there. It's 1-1. Well, they've changed one thing that put me off. We've had Thorvan out on that right wing the whole game. The ball's played down, and it ends up being Alexis Sanchez, who we know has got plenty of pace. He's in behind. I pulled Van Dijk across. Van Dijk turned his back to the ball. That's not good enough. You should be standing tall, straight at the ball, getting a block on it. He turns his back. The ball comes in. And Lukaku's getting marked by absolutely no one. Gomez should have been all over him. He had to come forwards because I pulled Van Dijk out of position. It's 1-1 and we're back to level terms. We're going to have to dig deep here, lads. We need a second goal. Lads, we've got to remember, they're going to put the long balls in to Lukaku now. We've got to be careful of them. They are the balls that are going to be deadly for us. Here's Fabinho. Up to the Ox. Through to Mbappe. Mbappe's going to ping one over now to Mane, who wants to get in behind. He's got Pogba on him. Let's close this down and play it into the middle now. Here's Coutinho. Onto his right foot. Coutinho shoots. David De Gea. Mbappe's there. It's just by the goal. Nicely done, Robertson. Come on, someone get to it. Nicely done. Gomez. Over now to Trent. Up to Coutinho. Coutinho to Mane. Through to Mbappe. Mbappe lays it off to Fabinho. Through now. Play it straight through. Oh, come on. Let's chase that Mo Salah. You've got to keep it in, son. Mo Salah has done. Kept it alive on his left foot. Nice little ball in for Mbappe. Who's there? Coutinho's there. It's just by the goal. And the referee's blown his full-time whistle. We're going to extra time. This episode is going to be longer than I would have liked, because not only did we have the fan objectives included in today's episode, it's going to extra time. Look at the stats. 8 shots, 5 on target. We deserve this. How they've managed to pull this back to level terms 1-1 and going to get extra time out of us is unbelievable. You know what? I have faith in Mbappe. I honestly think he's going to punish Manchester United in this extra time period. Here comes Mbappe. I've got no options here. Mbappe plays it through. Give it to Coutinho. Give it to Coutinho. Nicely done. Coutinho through a goal. It's off the post. Mbappe to follow up. Vertonghen clears out. Mbappe over to Chamberlain. Here's Mo Salah trying to drop the shoulder. Mo Salah gets a shot off. He drags it wide and is taken out in the penalty shot. Penalty box. And the referee is going to blow for half time in the extra time period. We've got 15 more minutes before it's going to penalties. And what I hate about penalties is it can go either way on the day. And that is my worry. It can go either way on the day. And that is not what we want. That is the biggest worry for me. It can go either way and we don't want it to. We deserve this game. 13 shots now on target. We've been so consistent We don't deserve to lose this game, so we're going to have to hope Mbappe, Coutinho and the Ox still having loads of energy. Hopefully it's going to be one of them three to do something in this extra time period. Let's go through now to Coutinho. Here's Coutinho, rolls the ball onto his right foot, looks at Ben the one. Oh, David De Gea catches it. We've got a free kick here. Come on, lads, we just need to go. We need to run at them. We need to run at them. Play it through. And again from Mbappe to Coutinho. Through now to Mbappe. Mbappe through on goal. Gets a shot off. David De Gea says we've got a corner in the last dying embers of this game. Van Dijk, please. Please, Van Dijk. Please. Ball in. Van Dijk's there. Van Dijk heads. It's off the line. Ish. Coutinho tries to win the head. It's played back to Callahan. Back to Vertonghen, who plays it out wide to Sanchez. It's going to penalties. Oh, I didn't want it to go to penalties. I didn't. Oh, it's so heartbreaking because it's going either way now. Oh, this is a killer. This is a killer. What more can we do? 16 shots, 11 on target. We've had an absolute beast between the sticks in David De Gea. There's not many great penalty takers on the pitch right now for us. We got Fabinho and that's about it. But David De Gea has been rock solid. And we've still now got to put penalties past them. Anthony Martial for the first one. Alisson, come on! Yes, first penalty save. Come on, Fabinho. Put this one home, son. You deserve it. Put it home. Fabinho, he does just that. He sends David De Gea the wrong way. Come on. Alexis Sanchez steps up. We're going bottom left. We're going bottom left. He's got. He's at the post. He went right. He's at the post. They've missed the first two. Mane, slot it home, son. Slot it home. Do us proud. Mane, sends him the wrong way. Come on. Oh, my God. Ben Yedder. We're going bottom left. Yes! United yet to score a single goal. The Ox steps up to score the third for us. He scores this. And the Ox has taken it home. Here's the Ox. Runs up. Oh, he's gone for a cheeky chip, but it's straight at David De Gea. Is that going to cost us? Alisson to save this one. Oscar steps up. Bottom right. To deny him again. It's in the top left corner. Good penalty there by Oscar. Coutinho to score this one and we win. Coutinho. Yes! And the Brazilian man we brought back to Liverpool for season 3, Philippe Coutinho, has just got us through to the final of the FA Cup. We deserve it. We fought for it. We've won it. I maybe celebrate like I've just won a trophy, but you guys will have seen the highlights. 16 shots, 11 on target. We should have won. And Alisson saved 3 out of 4. My voice is going. I don't care. What a game. What an episode. Well done, Philippe Coutinho. You stepped up when the pressure was on and you tucked it home. Mane shaking hands with all the players. Fabinho and Mane hugging it out. We win on penalties. It took a lot. 3-1 on penalties. Look at the stats. We killed them. Timo Werner picks up man of the match with an 8.2 rating. Bear in mind, we took him off early into the second half. He still managed to pick up man of the match. What a performance. And we are through to the final of the FA Cup. Right, guys, and here we are back at the Central for the final time in today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed the passion and the energy. You guys have no idea what this means to me. Yes, FIFA is just a game, but you guys have got to understand every FIFA I have been uploading a Liverpool career mode. I will confirm, gonna be doing a Liverpool career mode in FIFA 20. I was a little bit doubtful of whether I would or not because I've done one every single year. I'll be doing a video on that later down the line as not doing a Liverpool career mode, but I am going to be doing a Liverpool career mode in FIFA 20. And you guys have got to understand that, well, a couple of months away from being a year away, I continued and started the Liverpool career mode. I've done another Liverpool career mode after doing it on FIFA 17. I brought it back in FIFA 19. And I grinded it out. I have worked so hard. And since doing that, we've hit 1,000 subscribers. We hit nearly 100 videos after 24, 48 hours. Every single Liverpool episode, we normally hit over 100 views. Okay, they're down a little bit at the moment because I've had 2 weeks off, 1 week for a holiday, 1 week because unfortunately of editing problems. But I've grinded it out this year and I'm so happy with the targets I've hit. FIFA 20 is dropping in just 2 months' time. 2 months' time, FIFA 20 is dropping. I'm raring to go. I'm going to hit the floor running and we're going to make some brilliant content and we're going to grow the channel once again. We're going to grow it as big as we possibly can. And especially because I've enjoyed this Liverpool career mode so much. I see so many of you guys that, do a career mode for 1 season and then quit and start again. I've done this for 3 whole seasons and you guys have seen every episode. This is episode 90. We're going to have done 93, maybe 94 episodes of the FIFA 19 Liverpool career mode. It's been one of the best series on my channel and I've loved every minute of it. And the fact that this year we're in the line, we've done the Asian Elite Cup, we've done the FA Community Shield, we've done the Super Cup, we've done the Carabao Cup, we're in the final of the FA Cup, we've done the Premier League, and we're also in the semi-finals of the Champions League. This would sum up the Liverpool FIFA 19 career mode for me if we win all them. It's been absolutely unbelievable. It's been delightful and so enjoying for me to create these videos for you guys at home. That would literally be the best way to sum up retirement at Liverpool and then moving on to something else before FIFA 20 drops. It's been an absolutely unbelievable series and I am going to be sad to eventually be hanging up the suit and tie and retiring at Liverpool. But before we end today's episode, we've got a few things to do. The 2 other teams were Wolves and West Ham that were in the FA Cup. They hadn't played their game after we played Manchester United. So I'm going to go over now and see who I think is through. I personally think Wolves would have got through. But let's see who our finalist, our opponent is going to be. It is Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Liverpool on the 22nd of May 2021. We're going back to Wembley to take on Wolves and it's going to be a massive one. Hopefully we will be lifting the trophy 90 minutes after we kick off against Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's going to be a big one. We know we've got Atletico Madrid over 2 legs in the semi-finals and then we'll hopefully bag ourselves a place in the final of the Champions League. But before we end today's episode, let's take a look at what is in line for the next episode. So episode 91, we have Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals in the first leg. We then have Norwich away from home in the Premier League. And then we have the second leg against Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League. So realistically, we know what we're playing. We're playing the first leg against Atletico Madrid. We're playing the second leg against Atletico Madrid. And then we're simulating the game against Norwich. I'm not too fussed what happens against Norwich. And realistically, as we come to the end of the season, guys, I am going to start playing some of the players that we actually signed, the likes of Lucas Leiva. We're going to put Matip back into the team. Ryan Brewster, give him a little bit of a chance. So realistically, that is going to be episode 91. In episode 92, we're going to have Arsenal and Newcastle. Is that 92? Yeah, 92 is Arsenal, Leicester and Newcastle. And then 93 is going to be Wolves in the final of the FA Cup. Wolves in the final game of the Premier League. And then either Juventus or Manchester United for the final of the Champions League. So we are only going to be doing, let me just check that actually. So we've got, next episode is going to be 1 game, 2 game, 3 game. That's fine. Then episode 92 is going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we finish on 93. Yeah, guys, so I can confirm there's only going to be 93 episodes before we finish the Liverpool career mode, which means this is episode 90. There's 3 more episodes to go. And 93 is going to be massive. It's the final of the FA Cup, the final game of the Premier League. Hopefully if we beat Atletico Madrid, the final of the Champions League. Unbelievable. But I'm thinking like when we come up against Arsenal, Leicester and Newcastle, I'm probably going to play the Arsenal and Leicester game and simulate the Newcastle game. Against Leicester, I might put out some of the kids. I may well just put Ryan Brewster out there, Harry Wilson that we brought back. Who else did we bring back? Ben Woodburn. Just some of the players, Lucas Leiva, Martin Skirtle. I might just play them as like, in fact, you know what? Should I play them the last game of the season against Wolves? Should we put all the players that we brought? Let me know down below, guys, if you think that's a good idea. So we put Martin Skirtle in at centre-back. We put all the players, play them for the final Premier League game. And then they can potentially go on to retire at the end of the season. But wow, episode 90, we've done the fan objectives. We just got through to the semi-finals of the Champions League after knocking out Bayer Leverkusen. We faced off against Manchester United in the Premier League, beat them and lifted the trophy. And we just had a whopper game against Manchester United again in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. It went to penalties. We turned up on the day. We played well. It had to go to penalties, unfortunately. But we managed to turn up and beat them on penalties. Oh, what an episode. That's probably been or the most energetic, exciting, on the edge of my seat episodes I have played with this Liverpool team in a very, very long time. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been Massive Brad. Peace out.